But we're going to give you the call-in number in a few minutes that you're going to call into the show. You can ask me any questions that you want to the show. And about 5 after 9, when all those other stations hit those 100,000 listeners, who knows if we're going to have even more calls. But I have a lot to tell you about. And this show tonight is going to be an interesting show, because besides we have issues in New York City, we have issues in this great country of New York, of the United States. So everybody tells me, is this the greatest country in the world? I don't know. I have a lot of problems with, is this the greatest country in the world? And I'm going to explain that to all of you, what my problems are. I have issues with my election. I have issues with voting. And I'm going to tell you again what I do that I'm not scared, and why you guys shouldn't even be scared. You have to understand that freedom is the essence of everything we do, of the reason you wake up, of your religion, of the way you raise your children. Always understand that it's not only your freedom, it's the freedom of your neighbors. It's the freedom of creating this great country. You know, the Declaration of Independence is one of the greatest pieces ever written in this world. And I love it. And my problem that I have is that a lot of people don't even know it exists. A lot of people don't even know that this country has an independence. People don't even know, and I want to welcome all my Instagram followers and fans. Welcome to the show, and we're going to be live on 3 different channels. But I'm here to explain to you that I believe in the rights of our people. I believe in the rights of freedom, and that's my essence in my blood, because what people don't understand is the minute you take away our freedom and our rights, we become scared. We lose all hope. And losing all hope means that our next generation is going to lose the hope. I'm running for election, Heshy Tishler. I'm running to make a change, but everybody keeps asking me. Yesterday I had an interview. Heshy, what are you going to change in this country? I'm not going to change anything. I don't want to change anything. I need to fix what's there. I need to get everybody that is around who's old enough and smart enough to help me fix the system. The system works. It's worked for 250 plus years. Why not fix it? It broke. Things break down. I'm being serious because I want you all to know that I am running for office. I want to beat the incumbent. The man has done nothing. I understand this. He's accomplished. He's been there. You're going to say, well, Heshy, there's a billion politicians all over the place. No, my friends. There's only 51 councilmen. 51 in the entire city of New York. We have 8 million people, 7 million, 6 million, 9 million. 51 people control the entire city. 1 mayor. These are the 52 people that tell us what to do and how much to spend. By the way, I would like to welcome all the listeners that just joined us. Welcome, my listeners, and I hope you give me the call-in number, Abe. All the listeners from WSNR 620 AM, welcome back. I used to be on the show all the time at 9 o'clock. And the listeners from WJPR, channel 1640, and WVIP, station 93.5, HD2. And I want you all to know that the Just Enough Heshy show is a show that you can call in and say anything. Because I'm going to say anything. I'm not scared to say anything. But it's not only that, I'm not going to be scared to do anything. The whole show, this show about, is why is this not the greatest country in the world? I mean, I believe America is the greatest country in the world. Is America still the greatest country in the world? Is New York City still the greatest country in the world? I don't know. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you the call-in phone number when I get it, and I'm going to tell you to call in, and I'm going to ask your opinions. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. I'm going to have my friend, I hope Christopher Messi calls in, and Lenny the cop, but I'm going to let everybody call in. But right now for the night shows, I'm going to do a quick advertisement for my friend who co-host, who's not here the last couple of months. I don't know where he is. And we're going to talk about Ezra Levy. Ezra Levy. He specializes in all criminal matters. Weapons possession, drug offenses, domestic violence, theft offenses, assaults, DWI. Call him at 917-755-1187. 917-755-1187 or email him at EzraLevyLawFirm@gmail.com. EzraLevyLawFirm@gmail.com. Criminal and family court matters, order of protection. He's great and he's helped me many times. I want you to know, I'm going to tell you a joke and a quote, and I'm going to get serious. But I want you all to know the whole objective of the show. It's not why isn't America great anymore, or is America the greatest? I love America. America is the greatest. We're going to go through the issues because you're all grown men. You're all grown women. You understand the stories. You've raised families. We have 300 plus million Americans, 380, 350 million Americans. We run and control most of this world. The economy. We help people all over the world. And we're not the greatest country in the world anymore. Anyways, I want to first give a shout out to my friend Sergeant Peter. I love you, Sergeant Peter. You're the best. You help me out all the time. Ellie and my granddaughters Mira Nava, Layla Tamar, Lenny the cop, I love you. Christopher Messi and my grandson, my first grandson of the fourth generation Tischler in America, Yeshua Emmanuel. They want me to call him Yeshua Emmanuel. I call him Yeshua. I call him Josh. I call him Baby. I call him Munchkin. Anyways, we're going to start the show right now. And what I always do when I start the show for all my new fans from Instagram and all my other radio channel stations, and we're going to give you the number to call in a moment, is I say a joke and a quote. First, I'm going to start with the quote. The quote is about this whole show. And I wanted to have on the show tonight my friend Pastor Kevin McCall, who's fought the system, who's struggled, who helps the poor, who helps fight injustice. I had something to discuss with him because I know he was going to pick a side. So here's my quote of the day. The best way to predict the future is to create it. We are here now to create our future. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Yes, it starts with me and you. We can change the future. We can change the world. And I've done it. And you've seen during COVID that we can fight and make changes. Anyways, that's my quote. I hope you take it serious. I hope you people stand up. I hope you come out and support me. As you know, I'm running for city council. I'm going to bring that up real quickly. HeshyTischler.com, HeshyTischler.com. You can donate to my campaign $25, $50, up to $175, and I get matching funds 8 times the amount. You should join in and do it. It's going to pop up on your screen, HeshyTischler.com. Not for you Instagram people yet. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm going to figure that out sooner or later. But HeshyTischler.com, you can go online and make a donation. I'm going to win this election. I'm going to make the changes that need to be done. Here's my joke. I make a joke every week, and then we get serious with the show. You know, I went to pick up my friend Chaim in my new car, and he asked me about all the features. You know how all you guys, when you come in the car, you ask for the features. So I told him. I said it has the usual features, and I told him that it helps me slow down when I approach the speed limit. It warns me when I have to stop. It points out solid no passing lines. And he was amazed. And I explained to him the feature only works when Linda's in the car. That's my wife. You know, she always screams at me because I couldn't afford all those extra features. Anyways, I thought it was funny when I was telling to Chaim. But I'm going to tell you another one about Linda. I went to visit this week I go to the hospital and visit. I went to visit my nasty, tough as nails Uncle Max in the hospital. And I was telling Linda how Uncle Max was recovering from a car accident. And I told Linda that Uncle Max said, somebody up there loves him. And Linda, with her sarcastic eyes, you know how they are, gives me this expression. And she replied, no one wanted him up there. Well, I thought it was funny. Anyways, I want you to call into the show. You can listen in. Oh, no, you can call into the show. There's a dial-in number as well, guys, that you can listen from your cell phones in case you ever want to. I'll give you that later. I really don't care about that number now. 646-974-1581. You want to call in and speak to me or say anything, call into the show. It pops up on your screen right now. I mean, the other guys, YouTube and Facebook. 646 646-974-1581. Again, 646-974-1581. I'm going to before I get to the local matters, I want to tell you what my opinion of this great country is. Everybody thinks that this country is the greatest, star-spangled, wonderful, greatest country in the whole world. We beat everybody. Well, let me tell you something. I believe in freedom and diversity. I believe that America gives you this opportunity. Our Constitution is a masterpiece written by James Madison. He was a genius. He wrote the greatest piece ever written, the Declaration of Independence. I carry the Constitution in my pocket, 2 copies of it. I never want to forget it. And every time I do, now I'm starting to understand not only the 4th Amendment and the 1st Amendment and the 5th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the 16th Amendment. We've got to understand our rights because they take it away from us, piece by piece, little by little. Then they can shut down the country. Oh, they did do that, didn't they? You know, people tell me America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only country that has great freedom. Let me tell you something. Out of the 207 sovereign states in the world, 180 have freedom. Germany has freedom. Hungary has freedom. Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. Italy, Australia, Belgium, UK, France, Spain has freedom. We're not number one in anything. Just want you to know that. We all think that we're number one. We're not. Do you know that we are 27th in math in America? 22nd in science. 49th in life expectancy. 49th, we should be number one. 178th in infant mortality. Really? 3rd in median household income. Number 4 in labor force. Number 4 in exports. Let me tell you where America does lead the world. 3 categories. Where we have the most incarcerated citizens per capita. We have the most number of adults that believe in angels. I really believe it. When I heard this guy say it, I was like in shock. And besides the angel craziness, we have the biggest defense spending in the world. We spend more than the next 26 countries combined. 25 of them are our allies. Now, none of that is the fault of this generation. But this generation is the worst period generation ever. Period. It sure used to be the greatest country when I was a kid. We used to stand up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws and struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty and not on poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were. And we never beat our chests. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases. We cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence, and we did not belittle it like we do it today. It did not make us feel inferior. We did not identify ourselves with who we voted for in the last election. We did not scare so easy. We were able to be all the things and do all the things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. The first step in solving any problem is to recognize there is one. Some of us don't recognize there is one. There is. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore, but we could be. We need not to change, always change. We need to fix. We need to bring guys like me, my generation that did and brought and took over from the greatest generation ever to continue to work for you. You know, I was at a breakfast this week. And all the big, you should see what they spent. They spent $300,000 in this breakfast. I know that this organization, Kojo, does not have that kind of money to spend on a breakfast. Really, I was there. Breakfast wasn't even that good. Some eggs, some potato blintzes. They had some lox, which wasn't fresh. I tell you, the bagels were hard. And it was cute. You know what I mean? Very nice setup. Easy in a hall. Easy $300,000. Now, they had all these people, all these politicians come up there. Schumer came. The man hates Israel. Then he says he loves Israel. And then he says, I gave money for windows and doors. What about for special needs children? What about for protection for our schools? What about for cleaner and safer streets? I was standing next to him, and he came out. And I said, Mr. Schumer. He says, yeah, Heshy. He says, yeah, nice to meet you, Heshy. And I said to him, I hate you. You're an anti-Semite. And he ran away, and his people blocked me. Then Kalman Yeager, my competitor, goes up on stage and gives this award to a fellow councilwoman who's a Republican, who supports him. She doesn't support me, a fellow Republican. And even my Republican Party has nominated Kalman Yeager because they give money under the table. And I start saying, hey, Kalman, you guys did bad things. You took kickbacks. You're on the, I started to say, you're up there representing us. And I want to ask you a question. You don't speak to the public only when you go get an award or you come to a breakfast dinner that you think we don't show up. And I was saying, just answer the story about kickbacks and your other personal thing. And I was told not to at all insult Kalman, but I'm going to insult him on his politics. I want to know why he raised taxes by 18%. He starts screaming to all the police officers in the back that like me, police, come get him. I swear to God, on the microphone, you'll see it on my videos. Police, come arrest Heshy. The police came there. My friends, they ended up taking pictures with me. The police chief was there. The captain was there. I mean, he's a baby. Now I believe that Kalman Yeager, when I was arrested by the mayor, he allowed them to arrest me. He called them. I know he was on the phone. He told me about it, but I don't believe he defended me. Here is a politician that's a rat on the community. It's not the first time, because a fellow councilman was arrested 2 years ago, was a relative of his. He did not defend him. He did not stand up for him. This is a guy, I believe that he was the only one that knew the information. Something stupid. But he knew the technical problems. And you know why? Because when I was running for city council, he knew the technical problems that if somebody stands on a street corner and holds a petition, that you're not allowed to get a signature. I mean, really, this guy was technical. He actually came to look at us. He sent people. He even put 2 other people against me. Anyways, I just want to tell you. So D.A. Gonzalez, I bumped into him right over there. And Mr. Gonzalez gets on stage, and he says, who's calling? I want to... Oh, Lenny, we're going to put him on the phone. You're going to put Lenny on the phone. But put him on the phone. I want Lenny to hear this. And I want all of you people to hear from a man who's a cop. I think he's going to pick my side. Lenny, are you on the phone, my brother? Lenny? He's not there. Anyways, too bad. Lenny? Well, anyways, if you want to call into the show, it's 646-974-1581. Lenny, I lost you anyways. Too bad. D.A. Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah, much better, much better.
Hi, Lenny. How are you? You know we have 100,000 listeners this week. You know that. So you better be very careful what you say.
Chuck, can I just say this?
But I want you to hear before you say anything. I want you to hear one thing, Lenny.
All right. Okay.
I spoke to D.A. Gonzalez gets on stage at this big breakfast. I swear to God. He says, crime is down 25%. Hate crimes is down 25%. I walk over to him. I said, Mr. Gonzalez, and I like him. I know him. I said, you're wrong. It's not true. Here are the numbers. They're up by 30%. Rape, just alone in minor felonies is up like almost 1,000%. And he says, no, what I meant was that in certain areas and neighborhoods in Borough Park. I said, you can't do that. I'm going to be city councilman of the whole city. You can't pick Borough Park because we protect ourselves. You know, Mayor Adams decided to build a big building in the middle of Borough Park when he wouldn't let anybody build. All of a sudden, he's building. You think we're stupid that he doesn't want to put homeless shelters here? Thank God we came out to fight, but our community board can't do anything. I hope they will. I behaved myself. I listened to them. I was quiet. I didn't make too much trouble. And I'm hoping that the community board suggestions are good. But is Gonzalez right, Lenny? Am I crazy? Crime is down 25%? Now you can say whatever you want, Lenny.
No, it is not. Listen, I talk with police officers. They don't even turn out enough police officers. There's nobody working on these shifts. So when I say nobody working, I'm saying it and exaggerating from when I was out there. We used to have numerous cars. We had numerous cops. They're really turning out nothing. But what I was starting to say, when your producer picked up my phone call, and I don't care who believes or who doesn't believe, the way you were talking, I had a little tear in the corner of my eye, because this is my country too. In my wall where I'm talking, I have a wall where I have the challenge coins. My son is in the military. and I have a picture of John Wayne on a horse there. That was given to me by Scott Lebedo, the artist out here in Staten Island, the pro-American that he is. And every morning when I come down and I'm having my cup of coffee, I look over at John Wayne and I say, it's not our country anymore. I agree with you so much how this country was once a great country, and Joe Biden and the Democrats, the woke community, has turned this country.
It's not only Lenny. It's not only the Biden. It's the liberals. Really, it's the liberals. I mean, I was watching. I was watching this week, but this week I was watching a priest, an imam, and a rabbi all say the same thing. There is no such thing as transgender. Either you're born a man or a woman. You can cut parts of your body off and mutilate it, but a man can never be a woman. A woman can never be a man. They can act one, they can try to look like one, but they can never actually be a transgender. Transgender does not accept. I understand gay.
Why do they accept them in the swimming sports and the racing sports? They're competing. These young ladies, women, they work hard for what they do, and they're fighting against a man. You were born a man.
But Lenny, you see, Lenny, it's not only this. You know, this week again, Kalman Yeager, the councilman of my district, that I'm running against, the incumbent, and he has to go. I mean, I just as a constituent can't take him because of all the things that he doesn't do and doesn't care about the community. You know, yesterday a guy calls me, the city is knocking down his building because it's unsafe. We were there, it's not unsafe. But some stupid inspector got it through his head. He was doing construction, he had permits, but he did something wrong, and some crazy inspector picked it to knocking down his building. They called me to threaten me. I said, oh no, you're not going to do it. I said, I'm an HPD receiver. He says, we don't care, we're HPD and we're bigger than you. Then I said, you know, I'm running for city council. He says, we're not scared of you. Look at that last guy who's now borough president. We weren't scared of him. He also threatened to come after us. Now he's borough president. He says, we made him shut up, and look, he's borough president. You're going to give in. I said, no, baby. I know the rules. That last guy knew nothing. He played ball with you because he scared you and you scared him back. I'm going to come after you. I'm going to attack you. I'm going to set up committees. I'm going to take away your funding. Then the guy changed his mind. He says, oh, you don't understand. I said, you're going to think you're going to knock down this building? I'm going to have lawyers now. I'm going to stand there. And then together I wrote up a report with a licensed architect and engineer, which I've been working on the last week or so. And now we're speaking with the commissioner, and they're not going to knock down the building. They come out to scare us. You people out there cannot be scared. Lenny, they're scaring us. They even use our own police officers against us sometimes.
Here's what I asked.
But I want to just tell you something. I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing. Ina Vernikova, she's the new councilwoman. Forget she's not married. So I have no problem if somebody's not married or lesbian or gay. I don't care if she's gay or lesbian or sleeping around. But she is the councilwoman. First of all, I don't expect any of our politicians to be sleeping around if they're married or not. They should be...
The one in
Brighton Beach. She's so happy that she was able to cut $20,000 funding from CUNY. Multi-billion-dollar operation. That's all she did for them being anti-Semitic. That's all she did. She got an award for getting $20,000 off. I would have shut them down. I would have protested them. She's done nothing else. You know what I mean? And she also, there was an article about her taking kickbacks. She's not even a 2-year term yet, and she's already taking kickbacks. She thinks she's running the show. These are the people you put into power.
What I wanted to ask you, how do we get to voters to say that Heshy Tischler is the real deal? You know, it goes back to the former Speaker of the House. What has she got, like $26 million? How are people in politics so wealthy?
It's not even that. It's not even that. Look at Joe Biden. But look at Joe Biden. He's never worked in the public sector, and he's a multi-millionaire. How did he do it?
Will we succeed in bringing indictments against him and his family the way the Democrats succeeded in bringing these false indictments against Donald Trump?
Well, as you know, Biden, first of all, is president, so he can give his son a pardon and himself a pardon. And whatever happens to Trump, I'm hoping he wins the election because he's doing pretty good. But this stupid thing they did yesterday, some lady from 30 years ago said that she met him. They said he didn't rape her.
She couldn't remember the day. It's not that she couldn't remember the number day. She doesn't remember if it was a Wednesday, a Sunday, and it's like he was on CNN before.
And why would she even, woman, but why would she even allow him in the dressing room, even if she's trying on lingerie?
He said in a crowded department store, I'm a well-known person. I own the Plaza Hotel next door, and I'm going to walk into a dressing room with this woman.
I know.
They don't like the man.
It's not
Yet
don't like the
man
man.
did so much for the
Lenny,
country.
Lenny, we have to be careful today. You know, I'm not scared. I have a perfect record and history of you know, raising kids, foster kids, special kids, never having any accusations against me like all these other politicians. And my problem is I have to have people watch me and be with me now because they might do it. It's not even a possibility in my brain. You know, 60 years old, 35, 40 years in the public sector, in the private part of the public sector, you know, helping people behind the scenes. But you asked the question, how will you get Heshy elected? Let me tell you, Lenny, I've been doing this for 5 years and you guys just saw me hit the scene. You think I'm going to win off the top. Lenny, I've been in business. There's no way to be a successful businessman the minute you open up. There are very good businesses that take fads and they take off and they die down. But my history in business is you go in, you learn to sell, you learn to pitch, you learn the product, and you build yourself a beautiful business. When I first started working in the private sector and I put away money in the travel business, I took a small little operation and I built it up over 10 years. And I had a large clientele. When I started in the plumbing construction, I started small, did a couple bids and became bigger and then became a developer. And now I'm an expediter landlord. It's taken time to build these up. I've been doing it for 30-something years. I've been only doing this political game for 5 years, and an election only comes every 2 to 4 years. I am ready. Heshy Tischler now is known, I know not to the rest of your world.
When your producer picked up my phone call, before I even said hello to him, I said he looks like he's disgusted. He looks like he's down. And the reason why I say this is that I feel the same way. How much can we let our country slip away from us if we're really concerned about it?
Well, Lenny, I am excited every morning I wake up because I know we're in trouble and I know today I'm going to solve more problems. I'm going to help somebody else in trouble. So again, I know that one person can't do it. So I keep trying to tell you people out there. It's, you know, people tell me, even today I had a client in there, a very big client in my office. I don't want you elected. I'm giving you the money. I'll support you. He says, but Heshy, I need you with me. I said, but you know, Mendy, I can help so many other people. He says, yeah, but those other people are not going to appreciate you like we do. I said, but Mendy, it doesn't mean the appreciation. Sure, I'd love it. It's important. But if we don't start with one, that's why I gave you this story in the beginning of my show. We were a great country. We did care about our neighbors. My generation, we used to go to our neighbors, Italian, Jew, black. Do you need a cup of soda? Do you need a cup of milk? Do you need sugar? Do you need me to go to the grocery store for you? Nobody's ever done that lately. I don't see anybody in the block. I do that. During COVID, I went to all the buildings where I was either the receiver or the manager and knocked on doors with bags of bread and milk and some orange juice that Linda gave me, because that was all I can drag around. We have to care about our neighbors. We have to worry about our future. Our children today don't take it for granted.
Could I ask you another question now?
Sure.
If your wife and your daughter were to go on the subway train at 9 o'clock at night, will you be a little concerned? Yeah, it's a yes or no.
The answer is yes. Lenny, there's not even a question. I don't believe they'd make it home safe. That's how concerned I am. That I know for sure they won't make it home safe.
Now here we have New York City with an ad campaign. If you see something, say something. You have a former United States Marine on a New York City subway car. After reading about this one thrown to the tracks, that one thrown to the tracks, this one getting stabbed, that one getting stabbed, he takes action. He takes action against a person that might have not been on his meds, as they say.
But you know what they're saying? You know what they're saying? No, you don't even understand. They're saying that the Marine who killed this guy, Jordan Neely, ignored his training. That Jordan Neely was an unarmed, homeless man, but you and I know he has a long history of illness.
He was a nut.
Right. And he broke somebody's car window. He was...
the
No,
Marine
but
out.
but at that particular time, the Marine just didn't get up and beat him. He was throwing garbage on people and hitting people, breaking car windows. So of course the man is going to stop him. Here's a Marine who's protecting our rights, and he couldn't, and now we want to put him in jail.
Look at the people. Look at the people. Majority of them, white people, getting arrested on this train the other night in downtown Brooklyn, bloodied all up. These aren't my neighbors. They aren't Heshy Tischler's neighbors. They're a sick society.
Yeah.
If my daughter's on that train, thank God the Marine was on that train. Okay? Let's call it for what it is. Unfortunately, the man died, but you know what? The safety of others should be prevailed. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And you know what? Now you have these new protests for Jordan Neely. These people jump on the tracks and stop the trains. They're so bored with their... but they're so bored with their life. They think they're going to have another Black Lives Matter thing. They're going to have another COVID shutdown. They're going to shut down the city. That is done. Us 8 million citizens are done with that stupid 2021, 2022, locking us down, shutting down our stores, shutting down our trains. We're done. We're not going to put up with it. March, protest, days are over. Yeah, you can come out for a protest or a celebration on a holiday, but got to make it happy. Stop being mean and vicious. I'm talking to all my fans across the country, but Lenny, I'm talking to the people across the world that watch me. I have people in Australia and Israel and London. Guys, it's time to stop.
I'm in Israel. I'm in Australia, and I'm watching a feed-in news from New York City, and I see that a person that threw a Molotov cocktail at a police car with police officers in it gets awarded $21,000.
Are you crazy? This is crazy.
People, let's get out and vote. Vote. Let's change this, what's going on in our society. John Wayne is gone. We have to bring values back. You don't award somebody $21,000 for throwing a Molotov cocktail at a police car filled with police officers.
But I just want to give you an example. And some people don't understand, of course, maybe other states or cities about what's going on here, of the violence, of shootings every night. Do you know, Lenny, that we have kidnapped children still in our city? They're kidnapping our babies and selling them, or they're disappearing. How does 2,000 children disappear in a city like this? We have the Amber Alert, and we have kids that are disappearing. So I want to teach you guys something, that we're lost in the sense that why aren't more police officers on the train? Even if you're right, this John Neely guy was freaking out. He didn't freak out for one stop. He freaked out for about 5 or 10 stops till the Marine got up. Now, you're telling me there was no cops along the 5 or 10 stops that somebody could have gone out and screamed for?
There are no cops.
Right.
Face it, there are no cops.
Right.
Why would a police officer today want to do anything? You film them, even when they're right.
Right.
The film is coming out.
And we have no choice.
The film is coming out that they're wrong.
I just want you to know, these liberals today, we have an organization called the AFED that has gone against the Jewish yeshivas. And our councilman, Yeager, our assemblyman, and our state senator, I love the assemblyman, but the state senator and the councilman are two idiots that hid in their basement. Matter of fact, the councilman's father during Corona, a religious Jew, came out to the neighborhoods. And Kalman Yeager said to everybody, hey guys, my father's the only one wearing a mask. So listen, idiot, if your father's the only one wearing a mask, why are you telling the world that? Why are you embarrassing us? We don't want to wear a mask. What do you care? Your father wants to wear a mask, that's fine. So I'm just telling you that Mr. Kalman Yeager was against this community. Why you people still support him or vote for him? He hated us. He hated his own people. He just wanted to get ahead. But I want to tell you about Yafed. Yafed is an organization that's trying to get into the religious schools and change our secular education. We teach, our children are very successful. They graduate, they get their diplomas, they know how to read, write, do math, they buy homes, they get married. You know how many, like I was telling somebody the other day, you know how many murders are in our schools, in our yeshivas, girls' schools and boys' schools? 0. How many shootings are in our boys' schools and schools? 0. Maybe once in a while somebody flips out, but usually never. I'm talking out of 365 days times 20 years, you might have 1 or 2 incidents. Our success rate in the schools are between 80 and 90%. I'm very serious. In the public schools every day, there's a rape, shooting, murder. I don't even want to tell you about the drug usage that goes on. Yeah, we have drugs too in our problems, in our yeshivas. But again, we're trying to work on that. But in our public schools, and now these Yafed people are coming in saying, listen, a good program, we're going to screw up because we're liberals. We want you to teach your children sex education and transgender. No, we've been doing the good job till now. We'll teach them on our own terms. They want to screw us up. And that's the same way what the city is going on. Something is running smooth, they got to kill it.
Where does it say that a transgender has to go into a Brooklyn public library or a school and read books to young children, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old?
Right.
You don't think that screws with their mind?
Right.
Well, looking at the mother and father, who's daddy? Is that a mom, man, or a woman?
If you want to be transgender, you want to be gay, do you know that they're telling me that if you are a transgender, but do you know they're saying transgender have, I think it's 19 times more percent or something like that they will commit suicide? So we're not even helping them. Forget that we're not helping mental illness completely, but the community has accepted that transgender is acceptable, but they're mentally ill. Or they're not. I don't understand. I really don't understand the numbers. They're more probable to commit.
You cannot say that.
I don't know what to tell you.
We're not allowed to say that because then, we have to accept things. Listen.
I accept everything. I don't. 1 minute, Lenny. I'm not against if you're gay. Lenny, I'm not against if you're gay. I'm not against if you want to be transgender. Do whatever you want. Don't push it on me. Again, do whatever you want in your private homes. You don't want to get married. You want to sleep with married men and women, cheat on your wife. Do it, but don't be in the public sector. Don't be a leader in our community and let our children, like I told you in the beginning, we used to be men of righteous. We were men that didn't really care about pride and ego. We fought for what was right. Today, we just egotistical maniacs.
Lesson to learn. Look what happened to Budweiser beer, okay? With that transgender Mulvaney, okay? They're down 21% in sales because she didn't want Budweiser known as the good old boy drink, where you go into a barnyard, you pop open a cold Budweiser. No. Right. It backfired. They're down 21% or probably more in their sales. The whole nation is against Budweiser now. You cannot force these things down the American people's throat.
Right.
You are what you are. God bless you, but you cannot force it upon us.
And I want you to know, my dear friends and listeners, I do believe America is the greatest country. My blood runs red, white, and blue. No questions asked, Lenny. I love New York City. I can't leave it. You know how many times I've told my family over the last 20 years I'm going to retire. I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to move to Florida. I'm going to move to Arizona. I'm going to move to California. The truth of the matter is I can't go. This is the greatest city in the world. This is the greatest country in the world. It saved my father's life. That was a man of honor and integrity. I saw how he fought to make this nation better. I saw my cousin, Getzel Schwartz, who told me stories how he fought the Nazis and the Germans and then fought in Israel against the enemies of Israel when they had the wars. Here's a man, he put his life up for not only his country, for his nation, for his friends, for his neighbors, for his fellow world citizens. That's what this great country is all about. Now, you don't want to believe in the future? I believe there's going to be a future, and I'm going to fight for the future. Not only for the future of my children, but for this generation. This generation that is lost, doing pot, thinking that it's normal, doing edibles, that it's normal to go out cheating on your wife and husbands, and marriage is not important. Divorce, just right like that, easy. Give up quickly, go on to welfare. And I mean, there are people that need the programs. Don't get me wrong, Lenny. I help people all day long with their programs. They deserve it. There are people that need it. I got you.
People that take advantage of it, we pay for it. It's a shame. Now you could go into what the migrants are getting.
Yeah.
Phones, hotels. Come
The-
on.
and-
How
and-
much can you take from us?
And you know
They
what?
just passed congested pricing now?
Right.
Is that true? They just passed this congested pricing?
Congested pricing.
Go
That
into Manhattan
you
for
drive down.
$23?
Right. You drive from one part of the city, not through a tunnel or a bridge. You just drive a few blocks, and you have to pay a toll. I mean, that's a stupid thing. But
So,
the,
Heshy, I live in Staten Island. From the Verrazano to go to Midtown Manhattan, I got to go to Chase Manhattan Bank first and take a loan out? Come on.
and you know what? They're going to give a discount to the migrants or people that have low income, because if you can prove you're low income, you're going to get a discount. That is not fair. You have a car just like me.
He wants to set them up to cut hair. Was it 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago with a post? He wants to set them up with barbershops, be self-sufficient. My niece had to go twice for her license to cut hair.
Right.
Okay?
I help a lot of barbers. I help a lot of barbers get their stores legalized and pass certain inspections, and they're telling me how much money they spent and time to get their licenses. But you know what my problem is? Forget that Mr. Adams is going to be spending over the next 2 years in our city budget $4.5 billion. He's already spent almost $2 billion, $6 billion that could belong to the citizens of this city. Forget the $35 billion or million, whatever dollars that Hochul wants to give for people to do abortion in other states. They're just throwing money away and not taking it to us. But Mayor Adams caused it.
$600 million from the federal government to change all our health care for the retired sanitation, police, and fire department and teachers. That's okay. Get your $600 million there to go to Aetna. Come on. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You know what, Lenny? I can complain and you can complain all day long. The problem that I'm trying to give out my message to you people is it's not time for a change. It's time for you to stand up and fix. It's time to support and think. Don't let other people talk you into being a Democrat. Like I told you, when we used to vote, we didn't identify ourselves with who we voted for. We identified that we voted, and now we go on. And we put somebody in power to do the right thing, and if he doesn't, we vote him out. And it's not complicated. You know, Mayor Adams.
The Democratic Party is not what it was.
No.
They have people like AOC, all across the board. It's not what it was.
It's not what it was. They want to spend, I was listening, they want to spend $50 trillion now. They're really, actually, I thought it was a joke. Where are you going to come up with $93 trillion for the green thing? They're actually finding a way to come up with so much in the hole. They're going to suck us dry for another $50 trillion.
Heshy, what do you do with the batteries from all these police cars now? The whole fleet's going to go green. When the batteries go in 4 years or whatever, what do we do with the batteries?
Right.
What about the emissions and the toxins that create these batteries are more than they're burning in the gasoline?
And I'm watching the numbers.
Really have a blind eye to
I'm
this?
watching their numbers. They're lying about the Arctic collapsing. Sure, there are bad years and there are good years. They're lying about climate control. I don't see it. I mean, they're telling me that the whole sky and what are you calling about is all collapsing. I don't know. I have no idea, Lenny, what's going on. By the way, everybody, you can still call into the show because even though I love talking to Lenny, but 646-974-1581. But Lenny, I know that this is the propaganda. You know, we used to be able to trust men whenever they said their word. Today, we don't know who to trust. We don't know what to say. We go blindly to the polls and we switch the ballot. Go study who your men are. So you asked me, again, at the beginning of the show, how am I getting voted? My community now knows me. Everywhere I walk, I talk to people. I stand with people. I put up my posters. I'm not pitching myself. I'm telling people who I am.
Why not vote for a man who's so sincere of what he's standing up for? Give him a chance. Give this man, Heshy Tischler, a chance.
Thank you, Lenny. Don't forget, guys, look at my website.
Vote him out.
Right, tell him about my website, HeshyTischler.com, HeshyTischler.com. Don't be scared. Go on there, $10, $20, $50, $175. I get matching funds. I want to beat Mr. Yeager. Look at Mr. Yeager's record. Go online. He actually tries to take credit for stuff I do. You know how many times They've called me, the politicians, on my secret phone. Heshy, go out and stand over there on the corner and make a video. Heshy, go to the hospital and scream. Heshy, go help this guy who's in trouble because we can't help him with the building department, or we can't help him with his rent problems, or we can't help this guy because he's on drugs and we can't help get him any programs. We don't want him to come to our office and fill out forms. And I remember there were these two homeless women that told me for weeks they were trying to get into Kamal Yeager's office, but they didn't look so clean and nice. They were never allowed in. We brought them in. Anyways, Lenny, I love you. You've been great, but I want you to know, Lenny, that you are somebody that I want you to come to my, I have a campaign office now, everybody. Our office is on 5318 16th Avenue. You're all welcome to stop by and call or email justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Call the campaign office. Lenny, you should come by and volunteer here. Sit over here and take phone calls and call the people. You should come in, Lenny. Why not? I need volunteers to get on my phones, go through the list. I don't need you to go, Lenny. I don't need you. Lenny, 1 minute, Lenny. 1 minute, Lenny. I don't want you to go get me money. I don't want you to carry boxes. I don't want you to put up posters. I don't want you to get signatures. By the way, Lenny, Kalman Yeager sued me, and 3 times I beat him. I'm on the ballot. Everybody should know I beat Kalman Yeager big time in court. Costing me money, but I beat him. Everything legit. He tried to accuse me of forgery, false videos. I'm on the Republican ballot. Now I'm on the independent ballot. You only need 500 signatures. I've already surpassed 1,800 signatures with another 3 weeks to go. We verified 1,200 good ones, but I'm still going out, and people are coming over to me, Lenny. I signed for you, I signed for you, I signed for you. People know I exist. Now I want you to come vote. Lenny, come in, make phone calls. All I want you to do is get on the phone and make phone calls. Anyways, I love you, Lenny.
I will. But before I hang up, I got to say one thing. I want to give best well wishes to former Chief of Department Joseph Esposito, and I hope everybody that's listening wishes him well. He was fantastic when he was in the NYPD.
Well, Joseph Esposito, we love you. We wish you, thank you so much for serving our people and our community. Yesterday, I when I was at one of the bonfires for the Jewish holiday, I met a few of the older police officers I met a long time ago. I didn't see them in a while. And I said, I thought you retired. They said, no, they just hugged me. They actually hugged me. One cop was dancing with us. He wanted to learn the Jewish dance. I was so proud of him. That's what a police officer is. A community man, a man who's part of us and knows that he has to act like us. Lenny, I love you. I can't wait to see you, and come on into my office, and all of you can come volunteer and help me. Thank you, Lenny. The show is not over. We have another caller. Who's on the phone? Let's see. Who's calling in? I don't know who's calling in. Hello? Nobody. Well, I do have somebody on the phone. He keeps putting his finger there that we have somebody on the phone. Anybody's always welcome to call my show. And again, I'd like to welcome all the listeners from Instagram. We're going to try to fix that Instagram that you're going to be able to see better, more than us. I want to thank all the people from WSNR, all my listeners now from, WVIP, JHPR 1640. And, of course, LIP, I'm not sure, 93.5 FM. So you're always welcome. We're going to be on this Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. People make fun of me. I always say that. But Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, I'm going to be a regular staple all the way through to Election Day. And you're going to hear me, and you can call about anything. We can talk about anything. We can discuss anything. But call into the show anytime you want. If the phones work, who knows? It seems like it doesn't work. Somebody's on the line. Hello? Still not. I don't know what's wrong with my producer. I asked him to test the system, but he was too busy out drinking, it looks like. I don't know what he's doing. Before I end the show, I have 10 more minutes, and I'd like to discuss a few little things. As I was telling you in the beginning of the show and with Lenny, our budget is out of control. These people who are running your budget have no idea what's going on. So you're going to say, Heshy, we elected them. They should know what's going on. Really? It's like you're telling me that you sit down with your son and you say, here, my son, you're a smart boy. You're in 5th grade. You're in 7th grade. You have to go for lunch. It's going to cost you $1. You have to go buy yourself for the soda. You have to go to the store afterwards. You have to spend $4 there, and you give him a list of what to do. Now, if you hand the kid $100 and say, do whatever you want, you think he's going to budget and be smart enough to do it? Did you teach him how to spend the $100? Did you teach him how to invest the money? When I used to give my kids allowance, I started them with $10, $20. We used to fight for raises until they were making like $100. I used to teach them how to save, how to budget their money, what to buy, what is important, what to use their money in. Some people have millions of dollars. And they steal from other people too. We have Ponzi schemes. We have Bitcoin con people. And I hear Bitcoin is a con, everybody. I'm out of Bitcoin. I made a few pennies by luck. I hear Bitcoin is going to collapse and is going to kill you. I don't know. They for some reason, they're trying to make that, I love credit cards. Why? Because I don't have to carry cash with me. I don't have to carry a big bundle of hundreds of dollars if I have to go buy 2 suits or a shoe, and they don't take my check. So credit card is the greatest thing. But the truth of the matter is, with a credit card, they track you. They know what you buy, when you buy. I get calls from medical companies. I get calls from Amazons and fake companies, and everybody knows what I bought on my credit card. When is it coming? Everybody knows how to track you, and they sell information. And that's fine with me. I have nothing to hide. The point is this is an economy that they're going to trick us. And credit cards at least has a paper trail. Credit cards has money behind it. You have to have your credit behind it. Bitcoin is a zero. Trust me, guys, Bitcoin, I have no idea where this came from. I don't know what backs it. Dollars, gold, silver. Bitcoin, they're mining. What are they mining? I don't know what they're mining. I can't get it through my head what mining is. So anyways, this is what my problem is. Guys, be careful of the future. Be careful of Bitcoin. Somebody's calling me. I don't know what. Are you going to put him on speaker? Oh, I have no idea. I don't know how to hear this. Hello? Oh, from Zev Brenner? I have no idea what he's saying. Please tell me. There's a call. Hello, caller. Can you hear me? No. I don't know what he wants from me. At least write it on a piece of paper. I'm in the middle of talking about Bitcoin. Oh, somebody asked a question. If the USA is no longer a great country, who is? So I'm going to tell you, that was a good question, everybody. And I want you to know that's a good way to end my show. If America is not the greatest country, what is? No, America is the greatest country. It's just not the greatest country anymore. We used to do things like I told you in the beginning of the show. We used to do things about helping our neighbors, being number one in math, being number one in science, building stuff. We're not that anymore. Look at the numbers. Look at the crime. We incarcerate people per capita. We're number one in incarceration. We spend on defense. Why? So much if this world is so great and we've done so much in this world. I'm not going to tell you Spain is better and France is better and England is better. Nobody's better. Each guy's got a piece of the action. You got India with some of the smart people, and you got Spain with the better living conditions. I think so. It doesn't work like that. I'm just telling you, we were the best. We changed the world. Till 1776, people were enslaved, even though we had slavery here in America. It took us 100 years, 80 years to figure it out, to wake up. And we did all along from when the Constitution, we fought to free the slavery, even though it was wrong. Don't get me right. Don't think for a moment that I'm even agreeing with it. But we started the change back then. We started to grow up. We started the Industrial Revolution. We started the Technical Revolution. We were there all along teaching the world. What the greatest country means is that we continue to lead the country. That's why I tell you, when somebody gets elected, it's not a leader that we're looking for. We're looking for a guide. We're looking for somebody to teach us, to show us the way to get better. We don't need somebody that we have to follow. They want us all to be followers. They want to all knock us down. I'm not a guy to be knocked down. I'm going to continue my fight. Whether you're a police officer, whether you're a politician, whether you're a sanitation officer, I love everybody. I'm going to help you. But when you knock my sanitation, you knock my police, I'm going to stand and defend them. You know, I had an argument with a police officer, a court officer. I made peace with him right away. You know, and I was speaking to a sergeant afterwards. I said, Sarge, why should I even help the police? The guy came after me, and he knows that I'm a good guy, and I was in court doing something constitutional. And still, he was able to mix it and hurt me. Of course, we made peace. We were all heated. And the sergeant told me, Sergeant Peter, my friend, he says, Heshy, that's the way it is. Not everybody is the same. People lose it. People get out of control. It's always happened that way. I'm telling you now, we can teach our children to be better. We don't have to teach them transgender. Let them learn it themselves. We can explain it to them at home only and let them learn about it or let them read about it. But we don't need them to learn it in schools from other kids. You know, when I was in school as a kid, my parents were very religious. No cursing allowed. Never were you ever allowed to use derogatory or racist words. If you ever did, you got beaten in my house. God forbid you would use the N-word. And you're talking, this was the 1970s when people thought they can get away with whatever they wanted. So it was a different world when I grew up. And when I went to school, kids say bad words. You hear adults, the guy, the cook downstairs, or the guy cleaning the streets there, whatever, or the homeless man, everybody cursing. And then you learn those words and you take it home. You don't learn it at home. This is where you have to teach this stuff in your house, not on the streets, not in schools, where you can misuse these ideas. And then, of course, and I know you're going to all laugh at me, but this is why we have pedophiles. This is why we have sexual predators out there. This is why we have rape and murder, because we're not teaching our children properly. We think that some stupid idiot teacher that has no idea of what's going on, or just wants to get his tenure, or some politician that has no experience in the law. Carmen Yeager's a lawyer, but he's never practiced law. Maybe he's done 1 or 2 cases. Ina Vernikova is a lawyer, but I don't really know what law she's really ever done. She wrote a bill that was so busy, she spent months on making sure, and it's a very good thing, that everybody in the city council should vote a no hate anti-Semite day. Great, everybody voted except for 2 idiots. This is what you wasted hundreds of thousands of your time and dollars and writing a bill and passing it and standing up there. You should have gone to every one of the 51 people. It's not complicated because I speak to 50, 60 people, sometimes at event 300 people. And I say hello to everybody. Can you all get up in the city council with me and say no hate crime day instead of writing a bill and getting it to be voted? Just everybody get up. Simple like that. Hi, today is no hate crime. No hate day today. No hate crimes. We're going to pick a no hate crime day. That's it. But she needed to go through the whole procedure. Why hasn't she still, that she promised to put in legislation never to allow a mayor to do emergency powers or ever to do emergency declarations? I'm going to do that. That's going to be one of the first things I get in there, to be able to say, I can't stop the governor. I'm also going to be able to put legislation in that New York City doesn't have recall vote. I'm going to try somehow to put in some kind of legislation that if the people of the city are tired of their leader, we can recall the election, just like California. It's time to fix a system that exists. They keep making new legislation and new legislation and new legislation. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to have transparency. I'm going to make sure that you people know what's going on. I'm not going to cause trouble. Somebody asked me in an interview yesterday, Heshy, are you going to cause trouble? Are you going to make noise? Of course I'm going to make noise. Of course I'm going to say my piece. You have 51 members there that just want to make themselves a name and become speaker or collect more money, or when they retire, get on some big company board. I don't need it. I won't do it. I don't need it. I'm ready to retire. Today, a guy asked me, he says, Heshy, if you lose, you're going to retire? I say, I'm going to retire no matter what. No matter what, I'm retired from my job and business. I'm going to serve my community till the day I die. I'd like to serve it as councilman. I'd like to be there to make change and help this losing generation, the generation that thinks that drugs and pot and fentanyl is acceptable, that it's acceptable that our children, that the families that work 2 jobs and 3 jobs, that people have to go running home when we should be able to give them aftercare programs instead of spending money on stupid programs like plaques and just researching mental illness. What researching? Find the right team and committee. They have so many different agencies that have duplicate personnel, not 1 or 2, 10, 15, 20, when one guy could do the same job. I want to thank everybody for tuning into my show today. I want to thank everybody for listening to me rant and rave. I'll be back next Wednesday to all the channels. Next week, I'm hoping to have Reverend Kevin McCall. He couldn't make it today. Something happened with his car. I hope to speak and give you an update of what's going on. I hate Mr. Schumer if he came to the event. And the Republican Party, I want you to know, even though you don't support me, I am a Republican. At least my thinking is Republican. I don't know if I'm going to stay a Republican, but I'm a Republican in my heart, and the way the thinking of the Republican Party is today, even though you don't support me and you went with the Democrat, there must be something wrong here. You must be taking kickbacks. So I'm telling you now, you think you control my neighborhood. It's my neighborhood. When you come in here, make sure you ask for permission from Heshy Tishla. I'm not trying to be a big shot, everybody, but these guys think they control us. These leaders push us little guys around. I'm not going to let that. I'm going to be here to defend you till my last dying breath. Heshy Tishlop, signing off. God bless all of you. Yes, God bless the greatest country in the world in my eyes, even though we're not. God bless the greatest city. God bless all of you. Thank you. Good